eye test comes into play on Inferno. Of course, you HLTV stats and all that, you take them with a pinch of salt anyway, but even more so, I think, here into this matchup. Excited for it nonetheless. Fnatic, they've looked shaky over the past couple of days. This is a win that they absolutely must find, but Fiend will be no pushovers. They're going to have to work for this.
Yeah, for sure. Even just looking at the recent games for Fiend, they even have a win over Sinners there less than a month ago, which obviously with the form Sinners have been in is pretty impressive. So I do think that we have a tremendous game here to actually finish out the evening. Another hopefully competitive one. It'll be hard to live up to the level of some of the individual plays we got in that last match from the Ensign Mad Lions boys, of course. But I think they'll definitely be giving it their best shot. Red Star, he's going to find contact probably pretty soon in towards the apartments right now. Most of the focus, or at least a decent amount of focus, also being put up towards Banana, where they've already got that control. The bomb wasn't really committed towards either area initially, just being kind of carried by the man back on ramp. And well, for now, they're just going to continue to probe, but they'll see what they can do around apps. I don't think really wanting to overextend too much. And if Alex can get this one here on towards B, I think they might move forward with it. Bubble's got the dual Berettas, though.
Always deadly. He's by himself, however, and well, there's the contact flash. Alex will take him down up close, and now the dualies change hands. Could be very scary. No one's actually picked them up yet. Meanwhile, Crim's on the backside holding, looking good. Will go down, and we also get a kill in from Han. So back into a 3-on-3. Definitely not impossible here for the rotating CTs, but no kit available. They've got to move fast, and that's always difficult. Big group up coming in here from the Fnatic boys, trying to isolate and take control of a certain area, and they will do so brilliantly. That is great coordination. Now just down to Victor.
Yeah, it'll be hard to beat a Victor in this situation, especially without the kit, as the time already ticks away past a position where he has really any chance of winning it out other than just sticking it initially. So he does begin to back away, hoping to at least hang on to the Kevlar. We'll give him a little bit extra to work with into this next round, where it will just be a force buy. You always see the force pretty much on the second round of Inferno. If you are to take the eco and try and get the round 3 gun buy, we talk about this time and time again, but you never really have the nades that you need on a map like Inferno. You'll lack the op if that's something you do want to pull out as well. So they will go ahead and get what they can get here, try and give it a fight at least, and hope it'll work out, of course. And as I said, with that little bit extra being saved over for Victor, he's actually able to afford a FAMAS just by saving over the Kevlar for himself. So you laugh at him all you want, saving USP, ha ha ha, but it works out quite well.
Yeah. You tell him. You tell him. All right, let's see the aggression here. Okay, Bubble indeed immediately going to get them with the surprise where Fnatic are like, a FAMAS? What? Really not what you would expect into a round like this, right? And so far, paying dividends as they find that first pretty easily.
Yeah, and there's 2 of them alongside the Scout. A nice asymmetric buy also, although the smoke on Red Star is ruining it. Please throw that. Thank you. But they're slowing things down, of course, at the moment. They want to hang on to that smoke as long as they possibly can. Mid-control found for Fnatic. They haven't actually moved up Banana, though, so they don't really know what's going on the B side of the map currently. So it looks like A is going to be where they favor towards. And for now, 3 players in position to try and put in the defense. It's going to be Dreamer with the Deagle. Victor on his FAMAS alongside the Scout back on Moto Harn. He'll hope to tag up at least a couple of players. Doesn't quite manage to land, though, as it's the Mach 10 that just swings wide and jumps across the angle to bait it out. Alex going to be closing in the distance on short in the meantime as well, as they look to wrap onto the bomb site. And this is a good response. Try and keep the range. Try and have multiple positions to swing in from to just overwhelm these defenders. And that's exactly what happens. Despite Red Star giving them a bit of help with the spam, I believe, through the smoke there at Library. That's all they're unfortunately able to find. And Bubble, the man who had initially actually kicked off the round, she's going to be forced back now to go ahead and save that FAMAS.
Well, solid stuff moving into the site. Again, this coordination from Fnatic that we saw there in the pistol coming up once again. Really looking good. Got high hopes, man. I think everybody kind of wants this team to succeed, you know? Fnatic. Born of Counter-Strike. One of the greatest eras within the game. And, well, the Corona times have not been good to them, right? They dropped all the way down, bro. They were really not winning games. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it wasn't going well. Obviously, you've only got the Crims from the original core now, but they've gone ahead and brought in a couple of UK players. It is, I believe, a UK org as well, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense. You're kind of bringing in that side of things now to join up with the
Based in the
traditional kind of
UK.
Swedishness of it. Yeah, based in the UK anyway, the org, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes over time, of course. So far, a pretty decent start here for them. They didn't play bad at all versus Double Pony in that matchup yesterday, and Double Pony have been on the rise, as we've said, with their performances in Premier and such. But still, it was a matchup that we did expect them to win, so they need to try and redeem themselves here a little bit today, and it's going pretty well up against this anti-eco anyway. There was a little bit to work with, but the weapon already being dropped, I believe. Recovered by Victor, but he's not got Kevlar like his teammate did.
Double Pony's such a hard team to play against as well. Really, really difficult once they get going. Especially in a best of one. So it continues. We'll see after this event. Maybe we'll have a few complaints around that. But for now, teams are working their way through it. Down goes Victor. And that should be any kind of madness in this round thwarted. As it's just Dreamer and Nahan with the USPs. We will see them, you know, kind of run away. Alex is... dropped his AK. I think he meant to drop a smoke. Whoopsie daisy. A little bit weird, but he gets it back. It's all good. Taking it very slowly here, guys, but I think this is good for, you know, getting the old legs going, getting the oil back in the system. Just like the Tin Man, you know, takes a bit of time, of course, to get moving. And, well, you can see maybe taking your time is not a bad idea. Alex will kind of needlessly go down there. Giving an AK away, at least for now. Hunt will be on a bit, but they don't want to commit too much.
Yeah, but 11 health for Harn. I don't know. It's going to be tough to hang on to this right now. Mezzi's on the hunt. Got a Galil as well. He should be able to upgrade that to the AK as long as he doesn't get caught off guard by the position. He actually might do so. Yeah, the AK obviously gives the opportunity for the instant headshot. Harn's going to go ahead and snatch it up. And at this stage, you probably don't send anyone. Crims is incredibly low. I'm really surprised he moved this far in, but Harn ends up peeking forward, and it costs him his life. That's unfortunate. It wasn't necessary, and I believe that if he didn't peek, Crims probably wouldn't have pushed any further forward, to be honest.
Still, always nice to take a few guns away at the tail end there, and good for the personal economy and all that. But now we'll see. Han on the AWP. It's an interesting kind of team in that sense. Red Star's definitely done some AWPing back in the day on different lineups, I believe. So they have a nasty little double AWP setup in the back pocket.
Bubble's done it at points as well.
Yep,
oh, the
very true.
nades. That is horrible. Both of those B defenders tagged up heavily.
Yeah, not the best way to start the round. Really, really rough. Yeah, going to be forced backwards by the Molotovs as well. So Fnatic off to a keen start. Just a case of capitalizing now.
Yeah, moving up banana. Nice little molly on the corner should give them room to move past the half wall pretty early on here, and well, with that could maybe then move back towards mid and just see what they can open up as opportunities for themselves. Although they could also just go straight towards B, I suppose. That's definitely an option. But they're going to be walking into a little bit of a stack now. Although Fiend want to go aggressive off the back of it. They were considering going forward maybe with a flash instead, though they find contact already. Harn holds strong with 2. Messi was able to return one before he got taken out of play, but they've still got to deal with the upper as well as the man who's just hiding in the back of the bomb site. Red Star is yet to show himself, so this could potentially catch them off guard, but no, the molly forces him out, not able to take any kills before he goes down. And now we have a 3-on-3, leaving, I believe, enough space for the bomb to be planted as well. It's only Harn who's here currently, and with the bomb down and with an op in his possession, can't really do anything about stopping the bomb plant itself, so it is going to come down to the retake.
Feels like they've got to go for it as well. You know, a really decent chance, but also just the position that Fnatic are finding themselves in early on. A lot of confidence, of course. My voice hanging on, as you can hear, but we'll see. Can Fnatic hold on and hang on to this retake? Not looking good. It's all down to Mr. Crims. He's good for one, goes flying in, but Han will no-scope him up close. And Fnatic, the setup was there, but Fiend finding their shots, their individuals coming online. Han with the 3K here is really solid stuff. Little close on the defuse there. Would be nice for the kit player to get on it, but that's neither here nor there. Nonetheless, Fiend finding the first rifle round.
Did good work by Harn. Nice 2 initial kills, and obviously gets a little bit more then while moving in for the retake. Fnatic, though, still have money in the bank, so they're able to get a relatively decent buy here. The only weakness at all being the Galil that's stuck in the hands of Mezzy, which isn't ideal, but it's good enough. Does the job, not as bad as it used to be before. Of course, I got that ages ago at this stage. I couldn't even give you a time frame. Everything kind of just blends into one throughout the last couple of years, as people may know. But there's the up shot from Harn as he gets a bit more aggressive on mid. There wasn't even any support. I don't think there was any nades or anything towards the bottom of mid. So he was taking a very big gamble right there, but it's paid off.
Paid off, maybe even dividends, we'll have to see. Huge damage, isn't it? But slowed back down to a standstill. We'll see now whether they are able to pull it back. Test of a pretty, you know, good versus great team is a round like this, really. Gonna go for a contact playing towards B, nobody there. Flash is also a little dodgy, which is hard to work with. Either way, 55 seconds left, and Fnatic have not really made a mark on this round, Dean.
This is going to be tough. There's still a good few nades on the CT side as well here once the push starts to come in. And Harn obviously is trying to catch himself an early kill from long before he falls back around to help from Moto then for his teammates. Smoke's though over. It does look like they want to move in through long. Issue is the op is here, as I said, in the hands of Harn. It's an easy shot in the first. There was a little bit of a chance even of a collateral at one point. He's decided to actually stick around. This is incredibly risky, but he's barely even taken any damage as he falls back off onto Moto. And look at the time. He's just delayed so much. There's only 15 seconds left and they still can't manage to deal with him. More kills come true for Harn. Red Star finds the back of Mezzy completely turned, and Alex, he was already off apartment hunting.
Oosh. This is not looking good at all. He's going to take that AK into the next with the save as well. So it's not too far out of whack, but his personal economy will be a bit weird as compared to the rest of the team. So going to be tough in that sense. Fiend making their mark, looking good. This is what we were worried about, man. The CT side, you know, they've got individuals across the board. Harn having a hell of a ride in these early opening rounds. You know, great time on land for him. Meanwhile, Fnatic, some really nice little tidbits in the opening rounds, I will say. But keeping it together has been difficult for them, that's for sure.
Harn again. He's impressing big time on the op right now. Goes back in for more, feeling hungry, feeling confident as well, though, which is a really good sign when you're a team coming in as the underdog, I guess. Obviously, things are a little bit unknown for the Fnatic side. They've had a rough start themselves so far. And just, I guess, playing against players at the caliber of Crims, seeing the Fnatic name, it's always going to be in your mind. So far, it doesn't really seem to be holding Fiend back since the guns have got going. They've looked impressive. Still need to ensure they don't lose too much in this one, though. There is that AK they need to deal with, and there you go. An attempted boost up going to be caught by a pretty aggressive angle that was being held, of course. Not expected by Fnatic. They've been torn apart, and Mezzy's left alone on that angle and boiler that he's been posted up on for quite a while. He will actually pop out and get one kill, but that's all he's able to find for now. There's 50 seconds left. That's really the only positive I can currently find for him, to be honest. Tries to fake the drop, I guess. Or else just decided he wanted to come back after initially leaving. But now there's two players on long again.
Nice face onto the first. He's not ready for the AWP, though, right? That's what they were after, the bait and switch. Couple of kills from Mezzy. Cool. Not really expecting too much out of that round, though, of course. This is where we need Fnatic to get back on the board because Fiend are picking up speed and looking very scary while doing so, right? They're really not missing a beat right now. So Fnatic are going to have to force them, of course, to change it up a little bit. Start playing how they want the game to go. We'll see. We will see. The buy, no real excuse. A couple of Galils, not really ideal, but definitely workable, as we say. It's just a challenge. It's just a very, very big challenge, I won't lie. Because Fiend seem to be on it at the moment. No timeout for Fnatic either to talk this one over, so what's the adaptation at the moment? Again, very, very slow start into the round. No early damage from the nades. You know, no team really messing with that right now. Oh, he says, and then Bubble take some damage to the smoke.
Yeah, the second you said it. So not in favor of Fiend, but instead against him. Bubble going to be brought down pretty low. Quite sensitive now. He could pop at any second. Looks like Fnatic are going to throw out a few smokes in towards middle. They were starting to fall back down mid, so I thought they were going to start moving towards banana, and it looks like that is the case. They're sending Brolin out to see what he can do. Maybe even lurk through that arch smoke. At the moment, there's no one watching long itself. And a Moto smoke going in as well to give him room to do so. There's already a couple of rotations, though. He's going to be able to confirm that, though, likely soon. And if they can get this entry on B, then they're going to be in trouble. Was that the jump shot from Mezzi? That is absolutely ridiculous. B is open. Bubble just about makes his way in and actually catches the spam through the smoke. As well as I thought a tiny bit of damage indeed. He did find someone towards Jaquinho, so it's a 4-on-4 now. Deep Molly as well stops the push from coming in there from the T, as it looked like he was considering it. Could have been dangerous. Crims, though, above the smoke with a great find. Now they've got the man advantage. They can sit on this with the time, work it in their favor off of the bomb. And Fiend, they do have good money, but that's onto most players only. Red Star and Victor are quite low, so Red Star could definitely do a save in this M4, and Victor could certainly do it a drop.
That's what they're going to do, of course, take the weapons out and concede. Fnatic, super important one, as we've said, to get their foot back in the door. And it was really well put together off the back of a little bit of a contact play. I think, maybe we'll see it on the replays, but I think he jumped up on a boost. Player crouched in front of him and, you know, the instant boost there. If it's the jump shot, that's absolutely ridiculous. But I think that would kind of go against the Fnatic way, at least from what we've seen so far, right? They like to remain quite structured rather than flying headshots and whatnot. So that's kind of fair. But really well held, really great post plan. Little risky for me, Crims being on high, but he times it well. You know, he's got all the experience in the world to go for that. Knows not to hold wide initially, uses ears a little bit to hear them coming in, and then goes for a peek when maybe it's been called clear. The push down middle, though, from Dreamer will result in a big triple. Just makes it look so damn easy. Straight back in. Fnatic caught blind with their pants down. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's all I've got to say.
That's not ideal. Crims left alone. Wondering what's happened there to his teammates as they just got slaughtered in the corner. They've repainted the wall there, as you can see.
Nice.
Something I need to do. Crims, ooh, not quite able to land that shot, unfortunately, on the man jump peek in the half wall. Could have been a kickstart, perhaps. He could have got the confidence going. But even then, it would have been pretty ambitious to believe that he's going to be able to pull anything off here. Seems to even think that players could have wrapped around behind them at this stage. Not the case, though. Fiend, they have a 5-on-1. They really don't need to make any plays. They can sit on the bomb sites and just wait and see what happens at this stage. And they're going to actually have 3 players in on B as Crim starts to move forward. So they're taking a bit of a gamble even when it's not necessary. So Crim's chances are just stacked against them.
Slow but sure, he will move in, but yeah, just easily spotted, bro. Oof. That is a message. Jeez. Lose a rifle. And straight back in with an incredibly dominant, you know, aggressive push into your face. Hello? We're not going to roll over. Dreamer with the big 3. And not dropping a single player. I mean, I don't really need to add much more than that, right? Immediate timeout for Fnatic as well. You can tell that they are rattled.
Yeah, a little bit. Could be in trouble as well now with really not too much money around the AKs that they've bought up so far. You can see they were considering what they need to get. Crims is able to afford one again. Thankfully, Mezzi goes onto the Galil so he can get a few nades at least. So it's not the worst buy we've ever seen. I think Brolin will be stuck on a pistol most likely. Yeah, indeed, he goes towards the Tech 9. Not too bad. I mean, it is Inferno. There's plenty of places where that Tech 9 is still going to be pretty useful, and the Galil's just a decent weapon in general. So we'll see what can be done. If they can return this one, it'll be Fiend instead, who would have a bit of trouble with their economy. They'd still be able to just about scrape one together. But when you're on the CT side, obviously, it's a little bit harder. It's not ideal when you're getting that back and forth. So they'd like to try and start winning things out now and start chaining some rounds together for themselves. Again, though, pretty passive in the early stages of the round. They had some switch-ups in the first few rounds when Harn was liking his peaks down mid and such. They seem to have been become at this point happy enough to sit back and go back in later on in the rounds, because Fnatic do tend to play pretty passively. Seem to be sometimes intimidated, expected that aggression to come true from Fiend, and well, there it is, catching this time the boost that comes up from Alex. Early advantage off the back of that frag from Bubble, and well, it looks like Fnatic are going to concede banana now and start moving back towards mid.
Yeah, problematic, very problematic indeed. They're losing these first men a bit too consistently. Gonna try and wrap in, maybe go towards B. However, they've got Red Star to hold off. You just get caught out in the open. And now this brings the kind of, 50-50 guessing game, really. Are they indeed going B? Are they going to keep on wrapping? Well, they're going for the latter. But there is the potential of a quick flank, as well as the two players sat in on the site. Down goes Victor nice and fast. Dreamer in pit. Ready and waiting. Bomb's going to go down. Messi just goes barreling on through. Maybe a little overzealous as he gives the man advantage back over. And now, of course, like I say, Bubble is here pretty quickly, able to isolate the player in towards the site, looking for the frag in and of itself, which is proving to be a little bit troublesome, but he gets the drop with the slow move. It's all onto Crims, clutching up against two, finds the first. Bomb not planted for him. Yeah, kick going to be retrieved here, and Han's just going to go for the hold. Crims has got to go fast, doesn't know whether he's holding or not. Sprays down, can't find him, knife out, and Han will get the 5-second hold. Again, that has got to get in your head. That has got to rattle you. You're on LAN, and he just goes for the hold. Who does that? Who does that? Fiend do that. Fiend absolutely will.
By the skin of their teeth. Can they hear each other? I wonder if they can hear each other, because there'll be some cheers there from Fiend.
I would imagine so.
Said cheers, not cheers. They probably have cheers, I hope so. Cruel to leave them standing.
To be fair, those two words sound very similar. They might sound different to yourself, but no.
Nah, pretty similar, to be fair. A nice attempt there on the run boost, to be fair, from Harn. Doesn't quite work out, though. Ends up hitting the corner of the wall. A little bit too thick for it to land. Well, again, a pretty limited buy for Fnatic here. Just the 1 AK and some Tech 9s. It's not the full investment this time, so no matter what they'll buy in this next one, they want to try and at least get something done here to make it worthwhile that they've put so much in. They've got a ton of nades, so they must have a plan.
Surely indeed. I mean, they go for a contact flash. It's not quite enough, but at the very least, they're starting to make them panic a little bit through the Molotov. They will go. Alex, good for one, but that is all. Jackinio can't catch the player on the back. Away. And that'll be the 4-on-3 coming in. Jackinio going to try and, recover what he can here. Find himself a gun, maybe. Would be very cool. Now what? Contacting in. Nice play with the flash. Jackinio makes it through. Crims has got the AK. Damage through the smoke. They've got another one to work with towards the coffin, so not terrible here. Bomb plant will come in. Return on the investment is still kind of up in the air in terms of the round as the bomb goes down.
Yeah, a little bit of a boost even coming in. You don't usually see it from the T side. It does catch Dreamer off guard. Spots the second player pinned in the corner as well and wants to try and capitalize on it, but Harn, he's able to land a shot. Had called Victor in for support as well, and well, just keeps on fragging himself. Victor finally gets one of them on the bomb site. The first man he tried to take out was still dropped by the op. It's going to be 6-4 now. It's a close one, to be honest. A good bit of damage was done, especially towards the end of the round there. A couple extra shots landed. Things maybe could have gone a little bit differently. But overall, good work from Fiend. They managed to take the round, and well, Fnatic now coming back onto their full buy. It's the best we've seen for them in a while, but they need to make this one work. Otherwise, it's going to start to get a little bit awkward for them, since it is a map here where you'd be looking for probably 7 or 8+ rounds on that T side.
All right. Fnatic again. Indeed, as you say, starting to get to a slightly worrying portion. Cool flashes coming into play here, but no real early picks as yet. Not seeing that same kind of aggression that we've seen in the past. Jackinio, well, man, at Pro League, some hit or miss performances. Hopefully that's not going to be the same for him again here at the RMR. Big nade goes in, finds its mark, kinda. I mean, does turn the M4 into a one-tap machine. The other player's just lucky enough to be over the threshold. Still very, very tense here in round number 11. Another one of these key swing rounds. Dreamer's going to eat a nade. We do have the 4-man stack on A, as is becoming very, very common once again. Jaquinho, though, going to find the first with the contact play round towards long, looking for a little bit more. Not going to come for him, but that early opener for Fnatic, well, the world is their oyster now, and it looks like they'll shift back towards B.
That was super needed as well. Harn's been just winning the up battle throughout the game so far. So for Jaquinho to manage to win out the duel this time around, it's going to be a massive help. And as you said, they're moving it right back towards B, where for now it's only Red Star to actually try and hold off. And he's got 0 nades. He's just going to have to hit shots basically as they come forward. He seems to be aware of what's going on though, because he already has 2 quick rotations coming in. Can they do anything about this? Bubble tries to charge through the smoke, shot in the back of the head by Crims, who had already made his way across to the pool. He wasn't swimming though, but Red Star still manages to. He just hid in the back of the bomb site. So in the end, that kind of charge through the CT spawn worked as a little bit of a distraction. Unfortunately, it does still leave Dreamer alone in a 1-on-2, and he doesn't seem too interested in even giving it a go. Be enough to get that up off at the long corner and just fall back and save it. It is going to give that 5th round to Fnatic though. The money is there for another buy for Fiend, but yeah, it's understandable now that they save over the up actually. Could even drop that to Red Star and maybe consider pulling out a secondary one by having Harn just buy up another one himself.
Yep. Definitely could be a move.
Not as common on Inferno though.
Yeah, well, I suppose, but it's an immediate change-up, isn't it, really? Especially if you want to get aggressive with one. But yeah, like you say, you usually see a more dynamic AWP, an AWP that moves around during the round rather than 2 of them. Just because, you know, they kind of both want to go to exactly the same spots. Looks like that's not going to happen. But we get the next best thing. We get a timeout here, of course, for that Fiend side. And I think comes at a good time. They want to retain this lead. They want to keep it. They've got to respect their opponents, of course. And Fnatic are hot on their heels.
Like the music. Adds to the tension. Yeah, the pauses at the moment from Fiend don't want to really give any opportunities over to Fnatic. So when you have this opportunity, when it's 6-5, when it's so close, knowing that losing this round could potentially let Fnatic start running away with their T side a little bit, you may as well use those pauses. I'd be happy if they even used another one if this one went south, if they were buying again in the next round. No point saving them for late if it's going to be too late to actually really have them of any use. Here we go. Fnatic get this one. They're back on track for a decent, if not really good T-side still potentially. There's early damage from the nades. Pretty back and forth. Harn had actually taken a small bit there, I believe, from the spam up on mid, but then the nades down Banana end up weakening up 3 of those Fnatic players. Basically 4. Brolin's on 94, so that's not going to make too much of a difference. But it definitely won't help them once they do actually begin to push forward. Smoke, I think, going in towards the half wall should be timed pretty well, indeed. It is going to actually stop them from advancing forward. It's actually the molly to go down first of all. Hoping to maybe bait the player in around the car, but they're not pushed forward themselves, so I'm not sure if that landed exactly as they intended it to. Either way, though, it's not really going to be much action in the early stages with how passive it's been from Fiend overall. They've conceded both Banana and mid control, just really trying to hold it off with the nades for a while and attempting to get a bit of damage in their favor, which was initially successful, but they're not looking all too perfect themselves.
Really, really slow-paced T-side, isn't it? And I think, you know, Fiend not giving them too much. In the early rounds, they definitely did, but it has slowed way down, like you say. And they are, like, tightly knit, letting them get brackets control whenever they want. And this is something that Alex, who is a very, very solid T-side caller, will look to abuse, and he does, right? Alex and Brolan push round in towards the arch area, coming in for a double-pronged attack. Victor will find one. Oh, and he gets a second. The timing's not quite there for the trade. The move in here from Crims doesn't look too bad, but he's not really getting the support that he needs. He and Mezzy, now just Mezzy, to clutch it up against the 4 in total. Just able to get the bomb down here. 1v3 for Mezzy. 2 coming in from exactly the same angle. He's going to get that smoke down. Oh my goodness, the game of inches. The seconds just working in his favor, but he can't. Oh, he does get the double. No way. No way, Mezzy on the double spray down. He's clean as you like. I thought, you know, I was going to say he can't get into a good position, but it doesn't matter. Out in the open is where he performs best.
Absolutely nasty from Mezzy. Transfer onto the head of Red Star. And that leaves Fiend in an awkward spot. They're going to buy, as I said, but it's not fantastic. There's an MP9 and a Deagle in there. They still get the op at least on the Harn, which has been the most impactful weapon you've got to say for them. So there's that positive, I suppose. Mezzy getting away with that clutch right there. It gives Fnatic the opportunity to potentially look for even a 9-6 scoreline if they win this one, especially. So the pressure is on for Fiend. They don't want to let things slip, especially after the super strong start that they were able to find for themselves. Yeah, no, Banana not being challenged in the early moments by Fiend. They might want to move back in a moment. It does seem like they're rotating the third player over as well. I was thinking to allow for them to flash forward with 2 of them pushing. But Harn's just going to get caught there by Alex as he tries to peek in from the spawn. I think they even tried to peek through the Molotov. So it doesn't really work in his favor. Damage was at least done on towards Alex, but he's going to take the op now since he's sitting on the lower health. The Bogdan Law. Oh, they tried again. Never mind. Anti-Bogdan Law.
What the heck?
Makes more sense when you have less players, to be fair.
How dare they? I don't think you're allowed to go back, though, once the law has been invoked.
Oh. Are they trying to bait out rotations? Not too sure what was going on there. They're jumping around that arch for a while, eventually flashing through. And, well, while Brolin actually gets that kill through the arc smoke, Jaquinho's caught one of the players in pit off guard, and the second. Jaquinho is finding some form now with that AWP. Ever since he pulled it out, really, hadn't got to really give it a go, I don't think, before we were really seeing that being pulled out a few rounds back. They'd struggled with their initial few gun rounds. Although, 1 kill on the MP9, if he could get that weapon and run away, it would be nice, but he's not going to be allowed to.
No, sir. There you are. Fnatic, taking them some time to find their feet, but we've got 3 in a row. We've got the lead in from them. And probably going to grow that to the victory here in the first half overall. Try and get the 9-6, of course. But yeah, this round, you're not really expecting too much from Fiend. They don't have an awful lot of cash to work with. So, minimal investment. And we'll see what the game plan is. Maybe a stack somewhere. Do have a flash as well. Always a bit dangerous, but hopefully for Fnatic. Again, I say it with bated breath because a team like Fiend, they're going to have something up their sleeve for a round like this.
Nice shot by Crims. They're going to be caught potentially by this aggression through the apps, though, as Red Star at least is good for the trade on the Brolin. Alex, good work. That could have gotten dangerous. It gets dinked in the end as well. But it's only going to be the 1 casualty, so not too big of a deal right there. They only lose the 1 weapon. Small bit of reinvestment having to be put back in, but obviously they're moving into the last round of the half, so that doesn't really matter to them. They don't care. And Fnatic have got their way up towards 8 rounds on this T side. It wasn't looking too possible initially when Fiend had themselves the fantastic start, but it spiraled out of control ever since their economy got broken. It really is the case on the CT side of Inferno. If you can get a strong start, if you can get that economy initially built up, it's still pretty hard as the T side to initially crack through it. But once you do, it just seems like on the CT side you can just spiral out of control so horribly. A nice shot from Harn. That might help them out.
Oh, and another from Red Star. That might help them out. The double ops. We'd kind of been begging for it a little bit, hadn't we? To see what kind of impact it would have. And well, it's had a massive impact. Bubble gets a bit aggressive as Mezzy tries to find the trade back here. Nice little flash off the corner for Alex, but only he and Crims remain. 2 of the more experienced players at the highest level of the game, but this is still a lot to ask. We'll see. Rotation's coming in. Alex is going to catch one off. No! Harn able to pluck him out. Oh, disaster. Disaster. Crims now against 5. Not got high hopes. And indeed, Fiend will be finding the 7th, unless, I mean, surely not, right? But yeah, Fiend bringing it closest, damn it then. This is getting a little heated, a little exciting towards the tail end of the day.
Yeah, 7 on the CT side will overall be a pretty good result. Could have been better. But if you were just, in general, looking at this score, then it's a decent position to be in, for sure, for Fiend. Unless Crims pulls off an absolutely miraculous 1-on-5 here, which I'm not really expecting. He drops the pistol, hoping it works as a... Sorry, he actually just drops the flash, hoping it works as a flash. But it doesn't, unfortunately. Red Star just posted on the angle is going to hit the shot in the end. Crims goes down. It's a straightforward round for Fiend to get their 7th. They recover a small bit, but can they keep that up heading on into the second half? We'll have to wait to see, guys. Stick with us. We'll be back after the break. Alright everyone, welcome back. We seen Fiend have a fantastic start. Things did eventually tamper off for them. They were able to then get the final round of the half to at least end on a somewhat positive note. And as I had said, 7 overall, of course, on that CT side is pretty decent. In terms of the momentum, it's definitely shifted over towards Fnatic, so they're going to need this pistol round on the Fiend side of things, I think, if they want to get back into their winning ways, to try and keep this one competitive. What are you thinking, Scriv? Fnatic, were they looking like they're a bit too much maybe for Fiend to handle?
Do you know, I think that it is going to be difficult moving into this T side for them, right? This is where the experience and the individuals, it'll be a little bit easier. Fiend can be kind of a wild team to deal with, and I think they were pulling off a lot of aggression early on. But we'll see, we'll see. Contact play out towards middle here. Not quite dedicating to it. Jackinio with the molly. And a 4-man A play. Very interesting stuff. Oh, Alex is going to be calling for rotations, so he's gooshed out pretty massively here, but the rotations are not coming. Instead, they crunch. They move forwards. They might just have read into it perfectly. The bomb is coming back their way. It's being held here by Dreamer, of course, on one side. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. A bloodbath. Absolute massacre at the top end of middle. Not a single point of damage. Alex will find the first kill as he takes out Victor, but that is absolutely the round going the way of Fiend, and deservedly so. Looks like they were ready for that one, doesn't it?
Damn, that was crazy. Yeah, it worked out perfectly, as you said. Just pulls them right into this crossfire, and I don't even think they get much of a chance to fire off any shots. It's that quick that they just get slaughtered, because the first 2 players didn't even know what was going on. Didn't really get much of a chance to find out that they were actually walking into the crossfire before already being taken down. So a massive pistol round to be put in in favor of Fiend. And while the force buy, as we said, is going to come true from Fnatic, as it normally does here on the second round of Inferno, all they've got is the scout, a UMP, and some pistols. If this doesn't work, Fiend, they have a chance to head up towards double digits and really get things going for themselves. We said how important this win here is for Fnatic. If they don't manage to find it, then he's sitting down, I believe, 1-3 in the group.
Yeah, not ideal, is it? Not good at all for the new look Fnatic. If they can't make it to the major, that's a little bit of a way off, of course, in terms of the conjecture and, you know, crunching the numbers and all that. But still something to consider. We'll see on the force buy, though. Fiend, again, very slow on the upswing. Taking their time, as they do not want to mess this up. You know how common these force buy victories can be. We've seen a number of them throughout the day. Not in this game, but of course, Fiend want to make sure that it's never in this game. 40 seconds left, though. As the clock ticks down, Fnatic become more and more confident, right? It's where it gets crazy, chaotic, and you might end up walking into a stack. So Fiend, they have very little map control, very little presence. They're just going to try and contact in. This is risky.
Yeah, we'll see how much Jackinio can get done from the corner. Actually peeks in quite early, and with that, Red Star was still actually holding the angle. So he's not going to be catching anyone at all off guard. Does some good damage in the old days. That would have been the kill, but he does plenty to allow Crims to get the collateral. Looking for more then onto the man up in the apartments, but he's been pushed down now. This scout up close against the Mac-10, not ideal. Doesn't manage to land the no-scope either, unfortunately, and now it's all on the Mezzi. Left in the 1-on-3. Bit of a spam for the smoke, hoping to maybe find something. I think he did actually hear the footsteps up close behind. He's going to be good for the kill either way. Headshot found. And with that now, it's 9-8 for Fiend. They managed to overcome the force buy. But Crims, he gave us something a little bit spicy, at least there in the middle. Nice little lineup. Through the grind, I believe. Main spot to be shooting. But it's a full eco now, so I don't think Fiend, they're going to really struggle into this one either. A couple of kills would really be the optimistic goal for Fnatic.
Yeah, absolutely. That keeping the economy modest and all that good stuff, as you like to say. They try and find an early opener, though, with the nade spam. Not going to happen. Back down to the neutral game. Again, a few more here. Trying to pull off a little something to find that first kill, but Fiend, they're going to have to dedicate the bodies, right? Going to have to take the risk with the 1v1s. Yeah,
it's just a very slow one. Oh, we might actually see contact as I say that, indeed. Crims gets kneecapped as he peeks out of the apartments. Doesn't go well for him. Aaron's actually stuck to the USP. Obviously, pop out as early as he can, so didn't want to invest into a weapon at all here. And against Kevlar's opponents, it shouldn't be too much of a hindrance for him, but we'll see. If his teammates started to fall at all, maybe there could have been some trouble. 1 kill from Mezzi. He's really done his best here, isn't he? He's been having a pretty solid show, and he needs a bit of help elsewhere, though. Crims has had his moments, Alex has as well, but Brolin's been incredibly quiet, and Jaquinho too. Obviously, the T side of Inferno isn't the place where the op usually shines, so I'm not going to put too much blame on that one. We'll see if he can pick it up once they get the guns going here. That gets a little bit close. Nearly a second kill found off of the USP on towards Red Star. And I mean, the 2 kills alone, as I said, is a decent find for what was just a full eco there from Fnatic. So they can be relatively happy about that. They're coming onto the buy now. The op is available for Jaquinho. They have good nades behind it as well. But they don't have a defuse kit. That could be an issue.
Yeah, certainly could be. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on your early round, right? Finding the initial kills before the bomb goes down, just to make sure you've got the advantage to indeed play things a little faster. Jaquinho, not going to full send, but he's here with an aggressive post. Forced away by a bit of noise being made in towards second middle. Red Star needs to be very careful. Jaquinho dedicated to it, ready and waiting. But unfortunately, nothing comes for him. Minute and 25, all-important round. Really looking good for Fiend. They can get this on the board. You know, the game, it feels like it's within their hands. Jaquinho on the edge of the smoke here. Flash going to come through, I believe. However, it's a bit in front of him, and he lands the close flick. Always difficult, but an important frag nonetheless to get the opener for Fnatic.
It's going to be a quick push in towards B now as well. Right back on towards Mezzi. The Dink, I believe, did land though on Victor, so he's pretty heavily tagged up. But they won't really be able to do anything on this Fnatic side about actually stopping the bomb plant, so that won't really be helping them out quite yet. See if it does once they get ready to move in for that retake. It's going to be a moment, though, before Crims gets himself into position. And as I said, they didn't actually have a kit coming into this round at all. So they are going to have to move quite fast. Flash over for Alex to see what he can find on the open. And gets the first and some fantastic damage on towards Dreamer. Meaning he should be a pretty easy finish now for Crims on the flank. And indeed, it's all onto one man. Red Star pinned in the pit. He had already been dinked up, so there wasn't much that he could do about it. Defuse is going to come true, and that's a 9th round for Fnatic. A very crucial one as well, getting their first gun round. The bomb did go down, and there was decent money there for Fiend as well, so they'll have enough to get themselves the buy back in. I knew. Don't worry, Scriv. Didn't doubt it. Good work, though. They get one more. I think they might be successful in breaking down the money of Fiend. I'd imagine there's not too much left after this buy. We'll have to wait and see till after the replay, and indeed, Victor's about to buy up. They'll all be left with very little, so a chance for Fnatic if they win this to even get themselves into the lead.
Alrighty, all to play for. That pressure remains on for both sides. This time, Jaquinho getting a bit more confident. However, not going to be able to find the opener, but it's nice to see. It is nice to see. He and Brolin have been pretty quiet here, guys, so certainly worth getting a little more out of them. Damage onto Alex. I think a touchdown nade landing to take him down to the 64 HP. He'll go for the rotate across, of course, to this A-bomb site, which, as I've said, we're seeing more and more at the top level, especially. Either way, minute and 15, Fiend once again taking things very slowly.
Yeah, early banana control, still over a minute. Players over in apps as well, so they might want to move in and get the brackets control even just to open up all of the options. They've used a few nades already, so there's not a ton of smokes and such remaining, so they might just want to hang on to them for the actual execute for whatever plan they have in mind. Let's see, Fnatic, just a nade in. There was a smoke bouncing for a while, wasn't too sure where that was going. I was thinking maybe it was a counter smoke from Fnatic towards the half wall, but not quite. And it does look like it's going to eventually be brought over towards B. Bit of a spam down from Crims, not going to be landing on anyone. They're only now preparing to actually move forward. And while it looks like Fnatic have a decent idea of that, they are beginning to send that rotation over from Alex. The problem is Crims goes down in towards the spawn. Mezzi now going to have to hold from oranges, and it's not the ideal position with so many of them moving in. He's only good for the one. They didn't even smoke the CT spawn, so Harn just peeks in with the op and manages to catch another for himself. And Jaquinho and Brolin are left with no hope really on the retake. They fall back to save these weapons. Brolin hadn't even budged from the pit, I don't believe.
Fluky round is not the one, bro. Not the
Good day
one.
for Bulgarians. Skate are having success in their game as well, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I will double check the score, but I think it was like 11-4 when I looked earlier. It's now 12-8 for Skate. So Nipper getting a bit of a comeback in, but that's still going to be a close one, just as this is.
Yeah, they're making waves, man. They're making waves. And, I mean, if Fiend can take down Fnatic, that would be a hell of a victory. And at the moment, it's looking really, really good, right? They move up to 11 with this. And, of course, Fnatic... That's all I gotta say. You know, it's one of those noises. We do have a timeout coming in as they will look to figure things out. This round maybe could go for it, but it will not be pretty. They go for it in the next. Absolute must win. So, yeah, pick your poison.
It's rough, to be honest. I think the one eco is probably worthwhile. I mean, obviously, Jaquinho could drop one, but no one else is actually able to buy for themselves. So it'd only be the 3 rifles then, really, with some weaker weapons. And with such a close scoreline as well, it'd be a massive gamble. Because then if that doesn't work out, you're letting Fiend likely go up to 13. So they are going to take the eco. They still have a bit of a shot with the AUG and the op, of course, especially if Jaquinho can maybe work something in the early moments. But it is worth noting both Jaquinho and Brolin have been having a bit of a slower game so far. So this would be the ideal moment for them to show up.
Yeah, it's needed. We're seeing flashes from Jaquinho, aren't we? But, like, overall, it's been a little bit flat, to say the least. But, like you say, looser, faster round, you know, would be great to go for it. Oh, and finally, Jaquinho goes for the walk. You know, they've been going tit for tat and playing chicken, really, between that angle. I think that's ultimately what it's been for these early opening rounds of the second half. And finally, Jaquinho goes for it. And Han, well, slaps him, puts him in his place, and shows him exactly why he should not go for it.
Yeah, not ideal. He'd been pretty patient as well himself, but then just got a little bit of a wild swing in. Knowing that Fiend are obviously aware that they're up against some saved weapons also, could have presumed they'd play a little bit of a slower round out, holding those angles. Good entry on towards B, but Brolan, bit of a spam through the smoke, does pull one back. What can he do though? Needs to find a little bit more. One kill now would be nice to set them up for the potential retake, and indeed he's put them back into a 3-on-3. So maybe there is some hope here after all. There's even a kit on Alex. I like that he invested into that.
Yes, always cool to see. I've had that conversation many, many times, whether it would be a good idea or not, of course, to go for it.
Miles away, though. Look.
Yeah, pretty low as well, right? Got to get past Dreamer on the AK. Probably not going to happen. Needs, like, perfect timing, and Dreamer just keeps checking in between one and the other. Yeah, and they just call the save. I mean, cool to keep some rebuys coming through, but we need rounds on the Fnatic side of things, and I think they know that more than anybody else, of course, on the server right now. Or watching at home. But Fiend denying them away. This could be a game-winning round for Fiend if they can take it.
I think Akuma just disbanded. I don't know if you're seeing that on Reddit. After not having a great time. That kind of sucks.
So it begins.
That kind of sucks, to be honest.
It's gonna the post-major roster mania, honestly. Maybe even just the post-RMR if we get a few of these teams, you know, not getting the results they want.
This round, though, if Fnatic don't get this round, I don't think they're going to be getting the results that they want, so they need to go ahead and find a second win at this point, I suppose. It's going to have to carry them for a few rounds as well, because the money is there for Fiend to get a couple of investments before they actually are broken down. It's a heavy quad stack right now. I like this setup, but if it was to be the waterfall out of the apartments, then they could be in trouble. For now, though, seems like mostly just the default. You do have Red Star up in the apps trying to see if he could catch someone maybe rotating back in through Moto or whatever, on towards the bomb site. But it does look like it's going to be this A hit, and they're going to have to contend with this stack on quad. A perfect place flash, though, really could do it for them.
Oh, no, not going to start off for them. Oh, that's the bomb, bro. They're trying to wait. But, of course, Brolin is set up and ready for the players coming in from balcony. Fantastic hold here. So well thought out. Definitely something they've set up. But I think that shows its peak, shows the power that it has. Victor goes down. They only lose one. Absolutely the round that Fnatic needed. And now it gets interesting.
Damn. Yeah, that goes pretty much as expected. That's just such a difficult setup to deal with. You can see Brolin, his attention back and forth a little bit, but he was ensuring that they weren't going to get wrapped on by the Apps player there. The way you really need to do that is by getting someone into the pit so then they can swing from in behind the cart at the same time as someone peeks up on the balcony. But obviously that's super hard to coordinate, especially when your players on mid are screaming, oh, they're all short, all short. So it's a little bit awkward. Not quite all, but there was 3 of them. It was a little bit more than you normally expect to find in terms of resistance in that exact area. But it's 12-10 still. Fiend haven't lost their lead, of course, but it would likely slip away from them if they were to lose this round now, as they'd have to eco, and then things would be tied up at 12-12. So this is the opportunity for Fiend to not allow Fnatic back into this game. And, well, a good job by Jiquinho. Timing as he gets flashed going to be perfect. Catches the man coming out of Boiler, and that seems to have forced Fiend into making a quick decision to bring this onto B, and they're going to find an open bomb site. Mezzi back into spawn, does drop the molly and drops the bomb carrier.
Yeah, that's rough. Splits them up. They can't get the bomb quickly. Alex is in with another Molotov. Beautiful stuff. Going to try and isolate the player at the back end of the site. It's Victor that made it through, and they will be able to do so. Mezzi goes down to Red Star, but we need a hell of a performance here in the 2-on-5, and it's just not going to happen. We're all unable to take down Red Star. It's all onto Dreamer. Been looking awfully good, but can't look in 2 directions at once, of course. So 11th round for Fnatic. That breaks the bank. This is their opportunity. 12-12. Another rifle buy, and all of a sudden Fnatic are back to their winning ways. But of course, Fiend will have something in the back pocket. I know it.
It'll be Fiending for the win still. It's definitely getting slightly harder. I'll have to take the 1 eco here. It'll be a hard eco in terms of probably not investing much, and also in terms of them not really having an easy time of getting anything done. As I believe we'll have a quick match medic in a moment. We do have a pause in. Not sure exactly what the issue is. But every single issue we've had so far today has been a pretty quick one to resolve, thankfully. We've had no long delays.
Oh, no. Why have you said that?
Why have you said that?
Why have you said that?
Surely not.
No.
Not at the end of the last map, didn't I?
Oh, no.
Do this to us, Valve. It wouldn't be nice on the players, honestly, with how close the score is.
I'm going to get the sacrifice circle out, mate, because we've got to do something quick. Because you just jinxed it. Get the candles out.
I don't think the caster's curse is real, all right?
Oh, God.
I'm joking. It will be a long pause now. Now I've double done it. So.
Oh, interesting choice. trying to bait out the gods of Counter-Strike, of course. Aha!
There we go.
It's worked.
Bubbles back.
Yeah.
Told you. It's like when you're playing a matchmaking, you've been queuing for like 3 or 4 minutes, and you're like, why won't this queue pop? And then it pops instantly. You've just got to call it out sometimes.
Good stuff, good stuff. Just a cheeky little restore then, of course, to get Bubble his cash money. Hopefully shouldn't be too long. And then we should be back into the action, of course. Maybe a bit of chit-chat on LAN and all that good stuff, just to make sure that everything's cool and good to go moving forwards. Looks like that is the case indeed. Fiend then, if you've got enough, buy up a little. Of course, it will be mostly ecoing, though. So, Fnatic, their chance now to even things up, get it to that 12-12, and of course, make the next rifle all the more important. This is really starting to heat up, and honestly, I kind of had this in the back of my mind that Fiend were going to give them a real good run for their money, regardless of map, regardless of, time taken. Fiend were going to bring their A game as they always do. Such a, great team and scene generally, with not really caring about environment. They play the same level of Counter-Strike everywhere they go. And that makes them very hard to contend with.
I admire that, but they should care about the environment, because it's a little bit screwed up at the moment.
It would be good. It would be nice, a few more warriors for the climate, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll see, though.
But then,
they need to get the win here. If they make it to the major, they can start repping the environment. That'll be one of their big sponsors.
Yeah. When they get serious, Exactly.
That's how you do it. You have to get big first. But there's not much in this round for Fiend to work with anyway. As I said, they'd be tied up off the back of losing that previous gun round. But as you said, they're definitely giving them a run for their money. They're always a capable team in these best of ones, and the core has a tremendous amount of chemistry together. They've been in these situations before, and they might just be able to make it work with the pistols as the Bulgarians just barge their way into the A bomb site. Would have been better if it was B for the sake of alliteration there. But now it's a 3-on-5 retake. They have a few nades. They're outnumbered quite heavily, and they need to move quickly. Oh, and Alex might be caught in the open here. This could be dangerous. Jaquinho gives him some cover, thankfully. It is the headshot he had to take. But as you can see, they're all just tucking in. They're running down the clock. That's all they need to do. This is pretty much impossible now on the retake, and there's not much money for Fnatic. So saving could have been worthwhile, but they're already too committed. Nothing to be done about it. Jaquinho, he's barely survived even being dinked and now hunted down. Lands that shot, though, to confirm the op to be carried over. Unless the man running through library can make it in time, but I don't think he will.
Oh my
Get eat good, bro.
Oh my god. Come on. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely unbelievable. Comes off of those first couple of kills, and this is the thing, right? This Fnatic squad don't have as much experience in crazy rounds like that. What do we do? What are our protocols? How do we get out of here? Alex, help, you know. I don't know what to do. Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. Jaquinho back with a vengeance, though. Gets aggressive in Banana. Will find the opener onto Han. Something for Fnatic to believe in here with the rifle round. Forget about the last round. We've got the rifles. That's what we wanted. That's what we're after. Unfortunately, I think they put their minds a bit too far into the future, but it seems that that's paying off because at the moment, we're in a pretty hefty 5-on-3.
Yeah. Not ideal for Fiend. Looks like Fnatic, as you have said, have pretty quickly forgot about that previous round. I hope they remember at least some moments of it so they can learn from the few mistakes. But overall, brush it away for now. Focus on just ensuring that it's not going to cost you the game. And while Jaquinho already with a decent opening, and it looks like he's going to be challenged more in towards B. This is where the hit will eventually come towards, it seems. They are sending Dreamer back around to join up with them as well. But he's got a man in the back of the bomb site being Mezzy. He likely is holding a molly. That's what I'd presume for once this shot goes down. Actually just drops the smoke for now, so that might even keep the push at bay for an extra few seconds. Really complicating things because the time could become a little bit of an issue, as I mentioned, with the molly still in play.
That's true. Mezzy switching positions. He's played here a few times now. Smoke's going to come over the top. You'd expect the Molotov to come in, indeed, to keep them at bay. Biding the time. Guns up, guns up. You know, there's a gap on the smoke. Indeed, the push coming in, but there's only 15 seconds. Goodness me. Molly goes down onto the bomb site, so it will make the plant a bit more awkward. Not as open as they would like. Victor, though, as the smoke starts to go down, will find one, but the quick trade's coming back in from that CT side. Leave it all on to Dreamer. He's got to find 4. Tries to get aggressive. I like the idea, but of course, just not going to work out. Too many bodies. As Fnatic will find number 12. The silly pistol round might cost them in the end here, because that was a really well put together rifle.
Yeah, it could cost them in the long run, but as you said, now have, of course, managed to recover the round and at least quickly forget about it. Likely should even equalize things up. Maybe not. There's an AK for Dreamer. Just the 1 hero rifle, though, I think. Yeah, he still has 2,500 in the bank. He'll spend what he can afford to spend, and that only. And as I was saying, Dreamer, Victor, and Bubble have been together for an incredibly long time. Pretty much since I started playing CS, like back in late 2014, early 2015. So it's pretty insane how much chemistry these lads will have together, even if they took a little bit of a break at one point. And I think Harn and Red Star are an upgrade over the previous players, Spy Leader and the other lad. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, no offense intended. But it's been, as I said, quite a few years. But at the moment against Fnatic, there's still a lot of experience and a lot of skill on this lineup, even if they've in general been having some struggles. So they're not giving this away easily. Just the 1 hero rifle here. So there is a chance for maybe some damage to be done, but on paper we should be tied up at 13-13. Unless, again, this A-bomb site gets toppled by the pistols.
I swear to God. Hopefully not, eh? Hopefully not. For the sanity of everybody involved.
I don't know. Just to see you go crazy, I'd be fine with it.
Listen, man. I'm not sure I want to get there. I'm not sure I want to get there at this point. It's been a long day. Coming out the other end of an illness. Excuses, excuses. Oh. Ah! No! Oh my God, honestly. I've never been more scared in my life. Jaquinio, thank you. At the very least, we'll find a semblance of normalcy here. However, it's still 2 versus 2. There's an AWP recovered for Bubble. They could take the bomb and get out of here. 20 seconds to go. You know, you've got to make that decision now. And you probably need your knife out for the vast majority of it. But that's exactly what they're going to go for. Reset it back to the neutral game. Oh, and it's actually doable. It's actually doable. Unbelievable. Plant the bomb, bro. Yeah, don't fail the jump. That would have been awkward. We'll make it up just in the nick of time. But they get the bomb down cleanly. And now they're retaking full flow. And they're separating, Dean. They're separating. Oh, now they're going back together, which is just wasting time. And Bubble gets aggressive to find Mezzy. No, come on. Come on, not 2 in 1 game. Surely not. They've done it. They've done it, haven't they? You could just, the hard work is done. Alex needs actually a very good clutch here because he just has no information and Dreamer takes him down. Oh my goodness, right. Expect my resignation in the morning because I'm not sure I can do it anymore.
Scriv is mauling at the moment. That's it hasn't been a good day for the UK players for you, has it?
It's not just that. It's just what it could be anyone. Do you know what I mean? You got to feel me on this. Like,
oh yeah, no, I do, but I feel like you're getting the pain a little bit more. Me getting to
maybe a
enjoy
little, maybe
you being
in
pain seems to be taking some of it away from me. I'm not gonna lie. And Fiend have been overall giving us a pretty good performance so far throughout this game. So yeah, to pick that one back up now to put themselves in with a chance of potentially stealing this one away is a fantastic position for them to be in. Fnatic should be able to just about scrape out the bye here for what could be their last chance. They could have had this done already, basically, if they won out those two anti-ecos. Obviously, there was an AK in that one before, and it did pick up the initial kill, I believe. But after that, it was salvaged weapons that they got most of the work done with, I believe.
All right, trying to keep it together here, folks. Trying to keep it together. As I'm sure Fnatic are also looking to do the same, right? Of course, not about me. It's about the CS. That's what brings us all together. Lovely community that we are. Maybe not when we have rounds like that from Fnatic, but hey-ho. They forgot about it last time. Very quickly able to get the return round in. Gotta hope to hell they can do it again, because there's not really any room to work with.
Literally none. If they lose this one, then they're pulling together whatever they can for the final buy in this next round, and it wouldn't be very good at all because they put everything into this one. And obviously, with it having been a bit back and forth at stages, I don't think they have very much loss bonus to work with either. Indeed, they'd only get 1900. I've double checked. So this is a must-win, and Jaquinio, we've seen him in this position before. He's doubled up with Crims under quad, but he swings in. Bubble catches him. The op's going to be good for the battle as well, as Harn beats out Jaquinio. And while there is still 2 players towards this A side of the map, things are not looking good for them. Brolin, he's got to be the hero from Pit, and despite getting 2 kills, it's just not going to be anywhere near enough. Unfortunately, not helped out by his teammates. It's all onto Mezzy. I'm not fancying his chances. He may want to just back away. That FAMAS is better than nothing in the next round, and indeed he does the moonwalk backwards out through apartments. Michael Jackson would be proud.
Maybe in form, but not in context. I'm sure Michael Jackson would never use the moonwalk as a retreat. I don't know when he'd ever find himself needing to retreat from a battle, but there you are.
A crazy crowd, maybe?
Yeah, maybe, to be fair, you know, keep him entertained. And as you fade into the ground and just disappear. But look, let's be real. We joke about a little bit, and obviously I lose my mind a little bit with it happening. But if you're losing 2 rounds against minimal investment, against mostly pistols, especially in crunch moments when it really matters, maybe at the start of the game, I could give you it. But when it's super important rounds, you absolutely don't deserve to be winning the game. I'm sorry. Like, that's just the way it is, you know. Maybe a little bit harsh. You can run it back, but we'll still remember those rounds that you lost, and then it becomes Fiend's game to lose. So they have to defy the odds. They have to, I think, in the back of their minds as well, that it's like, if we're losing rounds like that, do we really deserve this victory? You know? It's difficult. But you've got to get those thoughts out It's round on round on round. That's how it works. That's what, you know, the players would tell you. That's what the coaches would tell you. Forget about the big picture. It's like, right, what are we doing in this round? Regardless, 15-12, who cares? What are we doing in this round? How are we going to win this round? That's all that matters, is just winning the round. Yeah, the game in and of itself is a bonus. I think that's the way that you have to think about it in a scenario like this. It's just about winning the rounds.
Yeah, it's definitely still doable. You can see a couple of rifles, even an M4 and a FAMAS in there, a few nades, as they look to try and at least use this M4 early on to alleviate some of the pressure. Alex getting a little bit more aggressive. A boost on the half wall. I think this is the first time we've seen it as well. The question is, can it potentially catch a player off guard? Victor has already taken a small bit of damage towards the bottom of Banana as well, but there's going to be two players moving forward now. He's been left alone on B as well. If he goes down, they're going to be in trouble, but he finds that opening on Bubble, has the molly then as well to drop and just fall back in towards B, ensure that they're not going to be able to find a quick trade, and that it is this early advantage now being solidified for Fnatic. They're actually going to risk the rotate back on towards A initially. I think it was more so just so that they could have a player with nades on towards B, so that's why they rotated Mezzi over, so he'd have the smoke there. But now they've decided to keep both in place, and well, that may not be the correct decision because it looks to be an A hit from Fiend.
Yeah, they'll have like a slim mathematical advantage, as it were, especially if they can find the opener into the round. Where's the attack going to come in, though? Is it from brackets or short? Well, it's going to be the apartments. Brawlin comes flying in. Peekaboo, he says, but nobody able to find the frags. 30 seconds left to get this bomb down. The rotation's coming in thick and fast as they panic, you know, sweating the way there, sprinting as fast as they can, because Fiend are looking to send them down. Fnatic panicking to stay alive. The remaining three players have to get it done. Old with the new here. Crims in the middle on the Deagle. No kit available, just a flash to work with. And by all accounts, it should be over. Unless they can rewrite that history. Flash comes in for the short players. The push will indeed follow. Red Star in the pit is the first to get past, and he indeed puts up a strong fight. 1.5 kills earned. Harden uses the information, and Mezzi does what he can, but it's not enough. 16-12. Fiend have nicked it away with two unbelievable rounds, mate.